What's up guys, Kyle here, and in today's video I'm going to run you through what you need to do in order to achieve your fitness goals, whether that be fat loss or muscle gain. So first off, before we kick into the video, please try to ignore this chair. It is the squeakiest chair in the world. It's a joke, listen. It's actually trying to mug me off now. But anyway, enough about my squeaky, not squeaky chair. The fitness industry is an absolute minefield when it comes to navigating your way towards your physique goals. Whether that be muscle gain, fat loss, weight gain, weight loss, whatever your goal might be, the industry is littered, leaving you lost and a bit confused about where to turn. And let's be honest, when you've got Arnold Schwarzenegger telling you to shock the muscle week in, week out, you've got your best mate telling you about Chris Bumstead's new workout program, you've got 5 of the best influencers telling you about a keto diet or a vegan diet and why you should be doing that, it can leave you feeling lost and confused. And ultimately, for me, it doesn't have to be that confusing. So I've broken it down into 3 core pillars. You've got nutrition, workout, and recovery. Without one, the other fails. So let's start with workouts. Before going into any session, regardless of whether your goal is to build muscle or to lose fat, you need to ask yourself a few questions. The first thing I'd be asking yourself is, am I nailing the basics? So am I going in and training with really good form, and have I got good intensity with my workouts? So what I mean by this is you see a lot of guys in the gym, they're just taking the weight from A to B. And you see this with a lot of newbie lifters and also the people who are sort of ego lifting as well. So if you're continuously lifting your weights with good form and progressing that over time, you're going to far exceed your goals. You're not going to get injured. The muscle stimulus is going to be astronomical really, because you're actually working the muscle the way it should be worked. So first question is, are you going in and nailing the basics? Second question, intensity. So are you taking your sets to failure week in, week out? Or are you saying, I've got a goal of 8 to 10 reps, and as soon as I've hit those 10 reps, I'm going to call it a day, even if I've got 4 or 5 left in the tank? So what you want to be doing is set yourself a desired rep range. So say that is 8 to 10. Your 10th rep should be your final rep in the tank. Once you've hit 10 reps for however many sets that you've set as well, so say that's 2 sets of 8 to 10 reps, once you've hit 10 reps on both of those, you then want to increase the weight. What that's called is progressively overloading. So ultimately, you're basically putting your muscle under new stimulus week in, week out that it needs to adapt to. So by increasing the weight, by increasing the reps, your body is forced to adapt to the new stimulus that you're putting it under, so the next time you go into the gym, it can lift the exact same weight a lot easier. So what you'll find is by doing this, you'll increase in strength, your power will increase, you'll ultimately get bigger and stronger. The next question you want to ask yourself is around your focus in the gym as well. Are you going in with the goal in mind that you need to put your muscle under the strain it needs? You're not sat there on your phone texting and you're focused on that session for the next 60 to 90 minutes or however long that takes. So those are really the 3 main points that I would look at. The other questions that you can maybe consider as well is the volume that you're putting yourself under. So I wouldn't recommend training with 4, 5, 6 sets. I only train with about 2 to 3. So all of my compound lifts are at around 2 sets. So I'll do one at around 6 to 8, and then the next one is either 10 to 12 or 12 to 15. All of my isolation exercises are 3 sets. So I can really sort of put some strain on that specific muscle group. I used to train with 4 or 5 sets, but ultimately that just led to me getting injured, and that's not what you want. So I'm still recovering from that at the moment. If you're looking to lose fat, that's a question that is more prevalent, because in a fat loss phase, your body's already under a lot of stress. So by increasing the amount of volume or trying to hit PBs every week, you're then on top of the stress that you're already at, you're increasing that further. So during that phase, you want to draw back on the volume, draw back on the intensity. So those are the questions you want to ask yourself. On the flip side, what you also want to do is consistently stick with a program for around 8 to 16 weeks. If you're someone that gets quite bored really easily, what I would suggest that you do is have a 2-week workout split. So 1 week we're going to be doing X exercises, the next week we're going to be doing Y, and then back to X, then on to Y. And if you stick with that for 8 to 16 weeks, you're going to see the same results, but it's going to keep it fresh every week. It's going to give you an idea of what to go off the past week, and you can even include some of the same exercises. But instead of changing something week in, week out, that's what I'd recommend you do. So nail the basics, get your form right, get your intensity right, focus in the gym, and stick with the program for as long as you can. So you've nailed the workouts now, you've got good form, good intensity, you're following a good program. Now you want to give yourself the best opportunity outside of the gym to effectively repair those muscles and also give you the energy and the power to go again in the gym. So usually when it comes down to nutrition, especially for the guys that are bulking, you have 2 main camps. So you've got the guys that eat anything in sight, known as a dirty bulk, and you've also got the guys that eat copious amounts of chicken, broccoli and rice, because that's what they're led to believe that you need to do. And that was me, I'm going to be very honest. I was eating 6 meals of chicken, broccoli and rice for a good year and didn't get anywhere. So I now adopt more of a flexible eating approach, which has allowed me to not have that binge restrict mentality as well. So around 80 to 90% of the time I'm eating good, clean, healthy food sources. So turkey, beef, was eating chicken, but I got food poisoning in December and haven't touched it since. Eggs, tuna, that sort of stuff. And then also for my carb sources, I'll be having things like pastas, potatoes, rice. Fats, I'll be having like avocado, olive oils, that sort of stuff. And then the other 10 to 20% of the time, I'll include things like pizzas, for example, or my off-plan meal. I'll have maybe cereal, but for a good majority of the week, I'm eating good, healthy, clean sources, which are gonna allow me to grow. So once you've got the diet nailed, you then need to think about the calories that you're eating. So this is where it becomes a little bit confusing, because when I first started out, I was basically under the impression that you had to eat a lot of food to get big. I remember going into the gym one night and I was eating around 3,500 calories at the time. I had a chat with one of the PTs there and I said, look, I'm not gaining 0.5 kilos a week anymore. He was like, cool, up your food 500 calories. So I was now eating 4,000 calories, and that's the complete wrong way to go about things. 0.5 kilos anyway is a lot of weight to gain every week. You want to be looking at about a 1% increase on the scales on a weekly basis. So that might be about 0.2 or 0.3 kilos. By doing that, that's going to limit the amount of fat that you're gaining. So what I would suggest that you do is use a generic calorie calculator online. Eat those calories for 14 days. Monitor your weight. If your goal is to gain muscle, you'll want to see an average increase over those weeks of about 0.2. This will be slightly higher if you're a newbie lifter, and that 0.5 might come into it. But if the weight's increasing, then you know you're eating the right calories. If you're not and you're staying the same, you want to uplift that by about 150 to 200 calories. Very small increments over time. And then on the flip side, if you're looking to lose weight, you'll do the exact same thing but in reverse. So those are the two areas. You can then break that down further into macronutrients. So that's going to be sort of like the basics that you need. Once you've nailed that, I'll then look at utilizing things like a peri-workout window, which is your pre and post workout window. So what I basically do is pre-workout, I'll have higher carbs, I'll have a good amount of fat, so maybe like 10 to 15 grams, a decent amount of protein, and then post-workout I'll have 0 fats and just fill that with carbs and protein basically. So reason being, So after a workout, you want a quick uptake of protein. You want to allow your body to recover quite quickly. And when you have fats in foods, it slows the digestion down. Now this is the most undervalued aspect of any training program, and that is rest. Rest and recovery. So it's a very broad topic, but I wanted to talk about it because we're almost led to believe that if you're not in the gym 7 days a week, you're losing gains. Basically, if you're not training and you're not like killing yourself, you're not going to get anywhere in life. And it's not just a gym problem, this is a systemic problem. So you see it with a lot of business people. They talk about sleeping when they're dead, or I'm only going to get 4 hours sleep tonight because I'm working on my business. Ultimately, they're going to be dead very quickly if they don't allow themselves to rest and recover. So the first part of rest is getting 7 to 9 hours sleep a night. So if you're continuously getting under 6 hours every day, your ghrelin levels are going to increase and your leptin levels are going to decrease. So ghrelin is your hunger cues, so you're going to be more hungry every day, and leptin is your satiety cues. So you're not going to be as satiated from food. You're going to be more stressed. You're going to be more angry, anxious, all of these sorts of things. You're going to have less focus. You're not going to be able to push yourself as hard in the gym, and your body's going to go into a survival mode. Just like if you're feeding it incorrectly, if you're not allowing it to rest and sleep, then it's going to go into survival mode again. And that's where you see a lot of fluctuations in weight. Your body becomes inflamed. You get a lot of these headaches and stuff like that. So that's the first aspect. The second aspect is overtraining. I used to go 7 days a week and I thought it was the right thing to do. And I wondered why I was never really seeing any progress. Reason being, you're not allowing your body to recover. It's constantly under stress every day. So I now train 4 days a week. I may be going up to 5, but I've been training with 4 days for about 7 or 8 months now. And that's where I've seen the real progress. I'm going to put 2 photos up here. One of me before going down to 4 days, and one of me now, which is after being at 4 days a week. So I'm able to push my body to absolute failure in that session. I then give it 2 to 3 days to recover for that specific muscle group. So say I'm training upper body, I'll have my upper body recover for 2 to 3 days. I'll then go again, knowing that my muscles are fully recovered, they've fully repaired, and I'm going to be able to push further than I was in that last session. And ultimately that's going to be the progressive overload that you're looking for. So recovery is such an undervalued part of the system. And in all honesty, if there's one area that you want to look at and improve, it's going to be that. So like I say, these are the 3 pillars. So you've got recovery, nutrition, and workouts. Without one, the other fails. So look, I hope this video provided some value to you guys. The purpose of it is just to try and, I suppose, trying to help you and try and inform you. I don't want you making the same mistakes I did. And I know the fitness industry can be such a confusing world at times, so I'm trying to basically unjumble that for you and make it as simple and streamlined as possible. Drop in the comments what sort of videos you'd like to see moving forward. I'm thinking of doing a few like day in the lives or a few eating videos and stuff like that. But drop it in the comments down below. Let me know what your thoughts were on this video. If you could drop it a like, give it a thumbs up, that would be amazing. I'd love the support on that. Subscribe to my channel, and please share this with any of your friends or family, because I feel like a lot of people need to see this. But I will see you in the next video. Now this is the video that I wish I had when I first started out in the gym. So let's get into the video.